Walk a cold thin line in the morning. Hold the fear inside that greets you with the day.
We left Coron at about 8 o'clock in the morning to sail to Marshall Point for overnight on our way to El Nido. Anchored in Marshall Point, and you can see some of the fishermen are on their way back to home to get rest for the night's fishing.
Something in your eyes makes me want to lose myself.
The boats on the horizon are all fishing for chokka. Early the next morning we left Marshall Point for El Nido. There was no wind, so it was motoring all the way.
This feeling lasts the rest of my life. If you knew how lonely my life has been.
Patrick and I normally sit in front of the boat, going out of the bay to look for shallow spots. The reason for us sitting in front of the boat is because the charts are not very accurate. And this is some of the fishermen coming back from their night expedition.
Change my life the way you've done. Feels like home to me. Feels like home to me. Feels like I'm home.
Arriving at El Nido, and Patrick is busy dropping the anchor. After a long 9-hour motoring to El Nido, we decided to spoil ourselves at this beautiful restaurant. The next day we decided to show John and Leanne El Nido, and we took them to our favorite art cafe. That evening the usual suspects got together for a lovely dinner.
Action. Small dance. Here we go.
I am the dancer.
Oh, no, Prem's pretty good. Hello.
Okay.
I'm not the dancer.
You're the driver.
I'm the driver.
The next day we were invited by the yachting community to join them for lunch at this beautiful resort. Philip and Brian having their conversation, John and Leanne enjoying their juice, and Prima loves his coconut. Philip decided to take out the paddleboard windsurfer, and what a mission to inflate the paddleboard. It was such fun. And eventually everything was up and running, and guess what? No wind.
If I can get the tender down, you can come and rescue me.
Yeah, he's already busy with the rescue. Philip asked Patrick to take out the tender and to go and rescue him if needed, but he caused actually more waves than anything else.
Don't shake things up. I will get my revenge.
That evening we were invited to Karan Karan unofficial yacht club.
So here I am sitting at the bar on a Friday night with John, Brian from America and Ellen and Ron, who we've just met from Australia. We've got our South African friends down there. Tasha's obviously filming us. And then we've got young Prem doing his Filipino dance, entertaining us all.
I don't think so, buddy. I'm sure that was on Philip's mind. Well, we ended the evening with lots of laughs and good company. The next day, Prima come and visit us on the boat, and I don't know who is enjoying the Legos more, Patrick or Prima. Patrick, show me your toy. That afternoon we had a little bit of rain, and this is Philip's clever idea to catch the rain. We decided to have dinner at our favorite restaurant, the Bird's Nest, high up in the treetops. Very beautiful.
Run. Run. Run.
Oh, shoo. If you're tired after that, can you imagine how I was feeling? But the view made up for all the steps. It was worth it. We celebrate a special birthday with Brian.
Our 40th month anniversary. Double whammy.
Thank you.
Peter, the owner of Lost in Asia, invited us for an evening on his boat. It's not a car parking lot, but a tender parking lot. The next day, us, Snow and Flying Kiwi decided to go for a sail in El Nido Bay. Well, this is what you're doing if the sails are trimmed and there's good music. Yeah, okay. These islands appear to be floating on top of the water. Loved it. John standing at the entrance of their saloon area and at the back of the boat, while Leanne is busy taking photos of Snow. They call these boats bunkas, and they use them to go out for fishing. They also use the boat for their private transport, for tourists, and everything and anything you can think of. I just couldn't resist to add some more pictures of the beautiful boat of John and Leanne against this beautiful backdrop. We departed 6 o'clock the next morning from El Nido to Port Barton. The wind was perfect to put up the parasailer, and we were greeted by this beautiful rainbow. Thank you, Leanne, for the stunning photos of us sailing the parasailer. Love it. Where's Patrick?
Patrick, where was my wingman when I caught that fish? I thought he was going to help me corner the fish and get the hook out of the mouth, but I saw you on the table.
It wasn't me.
Whereas I was initially very excited about catching such a beautiful wahoo, I later felt sorry for the fish because we were never going to use all the meat that it provided us.
Well, what a huge fish. After all that action, we enter into Port Barton for a lovely sunset. John and Leanne join us for a dinner on our boat. The next morning we decided to take a walk and explore Port Barton.
With a sign saying Bayview, we thought we'd take a hike up the hill to see the views, which were fantastic from the Germans resort. Unfortunately, it's empty due to COVID, so tough times.
That is the voice of Leanne telling us what they saw up the hill.
Yeah? German businessman up here.
Was it excellent?
It was actually beautiful.
Patrick, Philip and John walking in front of us on their way to Port Barton. Arriving in Port Barton, we are nice and hot and decided to have a nice cold drink. The next few photos are of the town. Philip and Leanne decided to play a little bit of cricket with the local kids and use a coconut as a ball.
Good.
Philip decided to do a little bit of shopping, and this was the only restaurant open. The next day we decided to explore our surroundings a little bit more and to see if we can find a nice snorkeling spot. We decided to explore a little bit further and came across this gentleman. He explained to us where we can go for a snorkel. Early the next morning we pick up the anchor and Patrick is pointing the direction of the anchor chain. The flying kiwis attempted to get rid of the mud on the anchor. And off we go. In the beginning there was quite calm seas and really not a lot of wind. Well, what can I say? Philip's version of the floss. The wind started to pick up to about 20-25 knots and we had to reef to second reef. We decided to anchor off at White Island Beach for the night. What a beautiful sunset. Well, Philip is demonstrating that our boat is way too slow. But I can tell you, it's not really that slow. Philip and Patrick ready to tack the boat. Back in El Nido, and that evening we go back to our favorite restaurant on the beach. That evening we had this beautiful lightning in the clouds.
Slow down!
Going to town, Patrick decided to give Philip the beat to row. In town we ran into this convoy of protests against splitting up Palawan in 3 provinces. The next day we were invited by the El Nido yachties to join them again for lunch at this beautiful resort. We departed El Nido for Lagan for a 2-day visit. This is what some of the crew are doing while the others are working.
I like it.
Philip decided to fly the drone to show our neighborhood. Philip says it looks more like Jurassic Park. I'm sure the keen bird watchers already spotted the eagle, but for those who didn't, here it is. But next time we will go a little bit closer.
I'm not convinced it's an eagle. I think it's more like a pterodactyl.
In a secluded corner in the terminal quay where the strangers go and the natives stay, she sings, "Come on, break the rain." And even some might stop and have her explain if they knew she doesn't need to entertain when she sings, "Come on, break the rain." I'm saying, hey, come along. Hey, come along.
This sunset is absolutely the true colors. I didn't even touch the photos.
Watching the buses as they pass and leave, but her back's pressed hard against the sea, and she sings, come on, break the rain.
We enjoyed a lovely dinner and evening at Flying Kiwi.
Imagine what if she ever really got into one, but she sings, come on, break the rain. And say, hey, come along.
We went snorkeling the next morning.
Come along. On and on and on.
This is John and Anne's boat, the Flying Kiwi, and they're waving at us.
Walk a cold thin line in the morning.
And that's Philip and me standing on the nose of the boat.
All the fear inside that greets you with the day.
Well, and so we end our time in El Nido, and tomorrow morning we're going to sail off back to Peshawar.
Watch you as you sail away. As you sail